club swinging, so I thought, you know what, I'll get in on that action. So you also asked me why I've stopped swinging bases, Gada, what have you. The simple answer is I got bored, got burnt out, and had a slight injury, which was the result of actual clubs, and in particular this 80-pound bad boy here, 36 pounds, was just doing the basic, Gada type swing. It's my own fault. It's cold, I didn't warm up properly, I just jumped straight into the way and bang, shoulder. So for about a year I was out of the game, and ever since I just was like, I think mainly because I'd reached the kind of as much as I wanted to do with swinging clubs and heavy Gada. I just got bored really, and I wasn't feeling. Every time I do it, I try and motivate myself, and the fire just wasn't there. It was gone. So instead of pummeling myself into the ground and grinding on, I decided to change tack, just do different types of training. Try and enjoy myself. You don't want to be like a one-trick pony and just do one thing all your life. That's just boring. It's kind of like careers. If you do one career, yeah, you might be good at it, but where's the variety? Where's the enjoyment? So training is a bit like my life, the different careers I've had, being in the army and doing this, that and the other. Variety is good, and it keeps things interesting. You don't get stale. So does that mean I don't use clubs, maces? No, I still use them in my training, just not as much. And it's more for the health benefits now, especially opening up the shoulders and keeping me mobile and flexible. This pulling over motion is gold, and be able to rotate through and around is like a perfect thing. If I was back doing wrestling like I used to do, I'd probably get more into it, but I can't really do it at the moment. Social distancing and all that kind of thing, so I just put it on the back burner, but still keep it in my arsenal of tools. So Steve was doing a flag press where you grind out straight to the front like this, and doing other exercises. So I thought I'd jump in and give my 2 pennies worth on that whole thing. So a little bit of background. Yes, I did do Scott Sonnen, and there's the shout out to you, Scott Sonnen. Scott Sonnen's CST course and all the clubbell stuff. That's how I got into clubs in the first place, was by looking at the club bells and getting into that and really diving into it and the whole system. Also Zolek, Doug Zolek, who did a lot of stuff with two-handed club works. At heart, I'm a meathead, and the two-handed stuff really appealed, like a barbarian, smashing stuff. A lot of my fantasy films, a bit of the old Lord of the Rings, especially some Conan. Who doesn't? So anything where you feel like you're going to battle is just an excellent exercise to do. For the longest time, I tried to use that as a main type of exercise. Same with kettlebells, and especially at the beginning of like the internet age and all this stuff came out, everyone had like an opinion. This is the new thing. This is what's going to get you jacked or whatever. And it was good in a way because you dive into it and fully immerse yourself in it, like the Gada swinging, all that kind of stuff. So full immersion. On the flip side, there's no way to really quantify whether it's validation until after the fact. So now we're a bit wiser and we kind of know what works a bit more, what's old is new again, that kind of thing. It doesn't mean that the clubs aren't useless. Obviously, they're not going to pack meat on your legs. Look at these chicken legs here. But for people who do mixed martial arts, and if you want to work on your upper body flexibility and especially strength and durability in your shoulders, they're really good. Plus, they're complementary because they're 3D ability. So instead of going like this and this, you work through different angles, which I think is vitally important to anyone who strength trains, even if you don't use it as your main thing. So my main focus now, inspired by my main man Steve, is to use these as part of my warm-up. I did use them in my warm-up, but usually I pick one exercise, but now I'm going to do a whole sequence and then go to my main work. So what am I doing now? Throwing rocks in fields, a bit like Highland Games type stuff. I want to get more explosive, so it's lots of high pulls, power curls for the guns, and just basic moves. So dips, bench presses, squats, single leg work, just lifting weights really, and trying to have fun with it. I think that's the key to longevity and durability, and why I haven't really been injured that much, just the shoulder. I think that's something else, like longer down. I was doing lots of kettlebell presses, something kind of went there, and things just happened. And overuse, doing the same thing over and over and over. So a bit of variety is good. So get in there and mix up with different tools. Enough chat, let's get down to it. So I'm not going to use the big one. Hopefully the technique's still there. So the first one I'm going to show you is the flag press. getting the club front elbows tucked in, anchor the feet, and then just press straight out. Pull back in, and grind out. Bring the elbow pits up to the sky. Strength, the pressing out, getting your triceps, pulling in. It's a bit of a complementary exercise. So this is a good one for working that balance and really locking down the core. Because I've been doing this kind of stuff for a while, it comes as second nature, but especially if you do stuff like Tai Chi, you're going to get the benefits straight away. You're locking down your body, so like when you do a race in the tree, you get this connection with the ground, which is vitally important. It's not just your arms, it's the whole body doing it. And again, if you do it the first time, you're more likely to tip over. With practice, you'll get that rooting structure. That's like a whole thing I'll talk about maybe another time if you're interested. If you're not, then I won't bother. But straightforward. But we do straightforward all the time and all that stuff. The advantage with the clubs is we can move in different directions, especially going sideways. So a muscle out is a good exercise where you take the weight from the side, and again, like Tai Chi, we're going to screw the hips into the earth, just break the place, and sit back. Bring the weight in and back. So instead of doing it with air, let's do it with the actual implement. Bring it up, bring it into the side, and then from here you're just going to screw, pull back in, screw, pull back in, a couple of reps opposite side, equal out. So I haven't trained all week and I'm fasted today. Just thought I'd go a bit easy and do something. Press, inhale in, press, inhale. This is going to help you gain contact with the ground and the earth. So that's a really good exercise because we're working different angles. Not just again the arms, bringing diagonally across, but also incorporating the lower body. Again, martial arts, Tai Chi, screwing into the earth, sinking back, so it makes you harder to push over. Empty light philosophy. So from here, 50-50, and as you sink back, most of the weight's on the rear, pull back in 50-50, like that. So that's a good exercise. You can go left, right. I like to incorporate it with the Gada swing. So Gada swing, this one. You can either start from the center and round and through to the center. I like to keep this angle here. So you switch sides, and still a great exercise. Switch sides, really good for opening up the shoulders and the chest. Around, or you can go more to the side like this. Pull to the side. So this is like probably like your bread and butter for using the maces and stuff, and it's a fantastic exercise. Even if you don't specialise in it, I still keep it in my routine and do it every other week at least, just because I think there's so much to it. You got this pull over, opening the shoulders and the chest, bit of grip strength, especially if you go for higher reps, and it'll warm up your whole upper body and get the shoulders to well. You want to strengthen your rotator cuffs, and this is a good way to do it. And it's a quick, efficient way to get your upper body warmed up, if nothing else. So we're going to combine this exercise, the muscle up. So same thing, to the side. You're going to go round behind and press. Come back in, around and press. So I did have a quick practice with the light one. I might knock myself out on my left side. Get a nice grip. Think about it, press, back in. Around, press, back in. Around and back in. So you might note my elbows are maybe slightly bent. Haven't really done it for a while, but it's really focusing on trying to get that arm lock. If I'm not doing it right, sue me. Haven't done it for ages, but I am going to practice and improve that. Really good exercise. So you're taking a combination of arm cast with press and hip root. And that's the advantage of the clubs over, say, the mace in certain regards, that you can combine these movements together and chain them together so you get more synergistic effect. So another way to take it up a level, really fun exercise is the bow tie, where you take it left to right and swing. So it'll be here, around press, back around press, back around press. Now I find this personally easier than going just one way. It doesn't actually carry through. I don't know if that's because I'm used to doing left right with the Gada or Mali or what have you. But let's see what that looks like. Here we go. Grab hold, and same thing. Get a good position with the feet. Inhale, exhale, sink back, and press. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And relax it there. Let's try the other side. So if the technique looks sloppy, so what? Work opposite side. Same thing. You get your muscle out press sitting in the hips. That's going to light you up your whole body. Slightly out of breath after doing just a few of those. So, I'm going to move on because you can do presses over top. These are the ones that I think are the best exercises with the club bell, like a very quick version of doing them. So you've got that. We're going to move into the side swipe, which is like a lateral motion. So you've got the normal swipe, forward and back. Down through, swing back, reps on the other side, inhale from the chest, and through. That's a good exercise. Again, you get that pull over, like a kettlebell swing in the bottom. A good combination exercise to get the whole body lit up. High reps, your hands will be smoked. Really good. I prefer side swipe because, again, we move forward, backwards all the time. And it's like doing almost like a hammer, sledgehammer swing, combined with a kettlebell swing, front swipe. But this time we're moving left, right. It's a very different exercise. So you're going to grab it here and swing, sway from hip to hip, and up, over, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Set hands. That's a good exercise because now we're getting sinking, rounding, rotating, opening, transferring the force out, opposite side. Inhale, exhale. Really good exercise. That's like one that I built up to doing like something like 200 reps non-stop. Woo! That's a bad boy. That was the 20 pounder. This one's only 35 pounds and that was a long time ago. But really good exercise. It's definitely going to open up your abs. You're going to feel it in the lats. Coming back into this exercise, Doug Zolek, I mentioned his name before, created an exercise called the Metronome. So you combine combinations of this with a side swipe into the opposite side. So I haven't done this one since probably 2009. Let's see what happens if I kill myself. It's a really good exercise. You're going to start like normal from side swipe. Come into the flag press, back through, and then opposite side, spin around, and then I'll do the opposite side just because I want to equal everything out. I can feel my hands a lot of this one, there's a lot going on. Same thing, through, over, turn, press, back in, over, opposite shoulder, press, in, over, V, press, trying to keep it tight to the shoulder, and there we go. So, my hands don't really, whilst they're starting to get warmed up, they're not fatigued. I remember when I first used clubs, my hands were dying all the time. So that's not what's dying, it's my heart and lungs because I'm unfit bastard at the moment. But my hands feel fine, my shoulders feel good, nice and warmed up. So this is a really good exercise to get in there. You're combining all the elements. You get side swipe, turn cast, coordination, which helps to wake up your mind. So, other exercises that I was going to put in. Yes, here we go. So, Steve, I said about the Parry cast. Now the parry cast you can do with one club bell. Let me try it. Where you screw around one arm, you take it, different ways to do it. You should come up and around like this and back down, or you can reverse it. I'll do the other side. Equal. But because again, I like my two-handed work, using more weight, I'm going to do two hands. So one hand, sit back down, and the parry cast goes this way. So my right hand's on the bottom, it's going to go towards my left. I'm going to grab, hold, and then leading with the elbow, keep the club perpendicular to the floor and rotate through the waist. Back down, inhale, open. You'll notice my ribs opening and moving. Another angle. Up your ribs and making them not just an actual functional part of your body. So if you're very stiff in your thorax and spine, then this is a good way to go. And that's one of the things about working with the clubs. I'm very mobile, if I don't mind saying. And that's consistent work with this. And if nothing else, even though I think it's set me back with regards to strength, focusing on this stuff, my mobility is good for someone of my age, which isn't old. But this has definitely made a massive difference. So, say it again. So bottom hand goes opposite, left hand, right side direction. Inhale, open up, and wind around. You take your time, this isn't done for speed. Inhaling, and exhale. Inhaling, exhale. Nice and slow. There's a lot going on. You want to take it easy. Really good exercise for definitely warming up the shoulders, so that's a good one to include there. The reverse parry cast I prefer even more, because now we're getting almost like an elbow strike and helping to open up the external rotators. So grab a hold. Instead of going that way, I'm going to go the same direction. So right hand, right leg. Same thing. Screw that in. Elbow into ribs. Open. Come down. And what you'll find is no matter how good your grip is, it's going to slide out. So readjust if you need to. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Opposite side. So left hand, left side. Really, really good for shoulders. You do a few reps of these, you're going to know what's going on. Oh, which rep's coming undone. And relax it there. So, both are good. Not one is better than the other, but try both. And instead of saying, oh, it's good for this or that, how about give it a go and find out. One variation you can do in the parry cast is like the Scottish hammer throw. So you're going to get a bit more ballistic. So I'm going to hopefully not take out any plants or anything behind me as I do this one. So you're going to go the same direction as the parry cast, and it's basically a swing direction, coming around like this. You want to get almost horizontal and reverse direction. If you like, 1, 2, 3. Trying to keep the arm locked at the bottom, so don't keep your elbows bent, otherwise you'll do yourself injustice. Arm straight, 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 opposite direction. Very similar to a Bulgarian bag swing, just a different way of doing it. I really like those, they're good. You're going to feel that there, and in the delts quite a bit. So what have we got there? Parry casts, flag presses, and side swipes. So those are some pretty good exercises. I think I'll leave it there for today. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, maybe I'll throw in some lower body ones actually whilst we're here. So obviously the club, this weighs what, 15, 16 kilograms of that? Less than that maybe. Not very heavy, so it's not really going to do much for your legs, but there are some interesting exercises you can do too really, and they're like, again, combined elements of what we've already done. First one is the whack-a-mole, where you remember the whack-a-mole thing in the arcade? Pick up the ball, smash it on the head. Basically the same thing. You're going to get the club, inhale over, and then as you pull over this arm cast, you're going to squat down simultaneously. exhale. Inhale, exhale. Opposite grip. Inhale, exhale. And bring it down for the center. Inhale, exhale. That's a nice one. So you can step it up even further. Whack-a-mole. Into the barbell area where you pull and come into a flag press as you squat. This might look very bad because the leverages are going to be a lot harder than standing up. And I did very nearly knock myself out when I had to go on this the other day. So let's have a go. Inhale, exhale. The other side, circle. That one's a tough one. I remember doing it back in 30 seconds, 45 seconds one side, 45 the other. I really get your upper back. You're not even thinking about your legs because of this lockout here, which is probably the best thing about this is this complementary grip press. One hand stuck to the top of the other, which you don't get with barbells or dumbbells. Very unique to kettlebells. A really good, different way of pressing, so worth having there. The other one, clockwise squat, where you almost take an element of a side swipe, but instead of going over the shoulder, catch the weight on the shoulder, sink down into a squat, opposite side, sink down into a squat. I really like these are cool. So, you're going to start swaying side to side, and then when you're ready, you're going to pop it, sink down, that might be off the shoulder. What am I doing? So yeah, it'll be this way, there you go. Sit down, opposite side. So you try and catch the weight. So it should be effortless catch as you drop. And it doesn't look too taxing. Opposite arms. Remember what I'm doing. But if you do this for high reps, your hands are going to be fried. You get the sideways pull. And rest of it there. Good exercise, definitely worth getting in. So, with regards to programming, I'm going to address Steve again. When you were doing your exercise, you said you did it as assistance after shoulder training. So, this is an experiment I'm going to do, and it seems to be quite popular in the fitness world. And I've been playing around with it the last year or so. It's kind of like a reverse, like sequence training. So, as opposed to doing like my main lift, that's the first thing. I'm going to put them somewhere maybe in the middle or towards the end of my workout. So say I want to do like power curls or like a heavy bench or something like that. Heavy bench is what I'm going to do upper body. I'd pick instead, this is what I'm going to do. An experiment, we can all have a go. If you're interested or not. So what? You're going to do 3 exercises with the club, and it could be done 1 quick rest, 1 quick rest, 1 back to the start, all on one side of grip. So for example, picture paints 1,000 words. I'm going to pick something that's going to be very technical, something that's a bit explosive, maybe something full body. You can play around with that. So, or maybe like a grind. So one exercise which is technical would be the bow tie. So I want to do the bow tie. Why? Because I'm working for my press. Say this is a bench press day. I'm getting open the shoulders and pressing left, right, working that press. And this top position. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now I could do one side or do equal reps both sides. So say 10 reps. So left, right, say 5 times. Then switch grip. Left, right 5 times. Do that opposite side. I'd move into the next exercise. So what should we do for that one? So that's quite a technical one. Something a bit more, maybe a grind, something different. So we'll do the Parry cast. So you do the Parry cast. After that one, again, you want to do the same amount of reps. Say 5 reps one way. I'm not doing 5, but you know what I mean. 5 the other way. I'd say probably between 5 and 10 reps with each hand position. That's nice. And then throw in the side swipe. So that's explosive and it's going to wake you up, and if we get all components, we've got this top position here. That's one thing I didn't mention about the parry cast, because you're doing the Gada strikes over top. Parry cast works the reverse and underneath position, so that's really good. Here's another exercise, mill. I'm getting carried away, you can tell I'm excited, but we'll do the side swipe anyway, and then side swipe to finish. Again, you want to do 10 reps one way and 10 reps the other way. So you're working the whole upper body, getting everything opened up and ready to rumble. So I'd probably put maybe like a ballistic exercise, something like a swinging exercise, that, or the mill with this. So Steve, I've seen you doing one-handed mills, do them two-handed as well. So it's the same as a side swipe. You're going to come up through, but now over the shoulder, turn in the back, out to the side. I used to really love this exercise. Opposite way. And with this one, you just go the one direction. And that's a really good one. So, best thing about the mill, you know, joris, swing joris at the top, and dumbbell swing in the bottom. This combines the top and the bottom in one exercise, so you get a lot of bang for your buck with that one exercise. So that's pretty much it. You do curve exercises, main strength exercise. So Steve, you're doing shoulders. You pick these, do like a couple of sets of each in sequence, maybe 3 to 4 sets if you want to go that way. Just 10 reps each one, so it's a total of 40 reps left and right. It should take you no more than 15 minutes. Then you're going to move on to shoulder pressing, something like that, and then you can add in, what I'm going to do is add in like more accessory stuff. So if I was doing shoulder presses and it's like a purely shoulder day, lateral raises, that kind of thing, maybe some triceps or even extra back work, kind of what you want to do. So that's one thing there. So I've been rambling. I should all be done in one take. I'm not going to do fancy presentations because I don't care for it anymore. And if anyone's got any questions, ask. So I hope that's been helpful, and I'll see you around.